Hi you guys, welcome to our channel. This is SV Bunny official website. I'm very happy to see you again. And I think you must have spent a very great weekend last week, because there are many astronomical phenomenon that you can observe. August is a very good month season for stargazer to observe, and there has been a lot of interesting and amazing atmospherical phenomenon that you can to enjoy. And I don't know if you have recalled it, and if you have photographed the good picture, and it's very nice if you can share with us. And in the last weekend, in our live stream, we mentioned several astronomical events, such as the supermoon and the Saturn opposition, and they are all worth watching. Of course, many people have shared these photos in our Facebook groups, and I'm looking forward to more people joining us and sharing your work. Okay, our today's topic is about how to choose the suitable planetary camera for the beginners. Actually, although we have introduced this series of products before, we don't seem like to explain the specific values. So it's still difficult for astronomy beginners to judge which products what should I to buy, or it's more suitable for you. So actually, our community, the Facebook groups, the SV Bunny Telescope clubs, is attracting more and more enthusiasts, especially the beginners. They may face many problems at the beginning, just like me, and there are many issues or problems that I can't understand still, and I'm trying to solve them. And there is a lot of professional terms in this field to be understood. Of course, if you want to take better photos, you need a very professional image processing technology and the operation skills. And even for different nebula taken have different parameters. And so for details, actually I have no way to especially very specific and not able to give very details and directions. Today, we just going to start with some basic concept parts that can help you to understand what the basic parameters of a planetary camera means, and the types of equipment you may need to add. Of course, the most important thing is that as a beginner, you don't push yourself so quickly, and you need to know what you need to do, and keep practicing step by step, and be patient. Even if maybe the first picture you photographed is bad, you needn't to be despair. Just to find the reason on the steps and go to correct it and practice. Now that if someone else can make good photos with the same equipment like the Planetary camera, I think you should believe yourself you can do it. Actually, we usually divided the astrophotography into three categories, like the planetary photography and the deep sky or deep space photography and the astrophotography. Whether you are taking pictures of stars, galaxies, nebulas, or the International Space Station, most of them counts as astrophotography. The deep space photography refers to taking pictures of deep sky objects outside the solar system, and while the hostile photography is taking pictures of the spring sky from the ground, and the photos are usually composed of starry sky and landscape. And the common target in the night sky is the Milky Way, and planetary photography or solar system planetary photography means to take picture of the 8 planets in the solar system. Although the sun and the moon are not planets, we will also refer to them as planetary photography, because the shooting techniques and the way planetary photography are generally calm. It's very similar. I think you should to know that for planetary photography there is much uncertainty center, and so we are always looking forward to a sunny day, no rains, no wind, no clouds. You just can imagine that when you are shooting the plant, but suddenly there was a cloud block your goals, like the sun, and you don't know when the scenes to you whether it can still be seen. This situation will be very make you annoyed, right? And so you need to check the weather before you shoot to make sure that you can own a great environment to take pictures. And as an astronomy photographer or hobbyist, it does take a lot of patience. In addition to the weather, and you should also pay attention to atmospheric transparency and the visual actual thinning and the planetary latitude, which may affect the final look of your shoots. It's best if you shoot in an environment with low pollution, no smoke, and low humidity, or you can look up at the stars. In general, the atmosphere is more transparent in winter than in summer. So because if you live in Australia or European, maybe this is the best season for you to take pictures, but it seems that there is always have the clouds or rain. So most of our friends also complained about the weather, and they have the time but have no chance to take the picture we want for a long time. And if you at a higher latitudes, it's better than at lower latitudes. about the visual acuity, which directly affects how well a plant looks in a telescope, is usually caused by turbulent and atmospheric motion. It's if you meet this situation, don't say shoot when the version is not good. The observation is very suspended. Well, we favor a long exposure for deep space photography, but for planetary photography, the long exposure are not a good fit for most targets. More often, we use a model called short exposure multiplicator stack, which involved the shooting the exposure time, increasing the number of frames taken and targeting the higher quality films to make their image sharper and less noisy. Can you hear me? Everybody? Can you hear me? If there have noise, have sounds. Is there have sounds? Can you hear me? It seems that my microphone is no sounds. Wait a moment and I check this. Okay, that's okay. And I continue that. Also, you need to know the planetary latitude refers to the height of the planets observed above the horizon. If the planetary latitude is negative, the planet is below the horizon at the moment. The higher the horizons, the better for viewings and photographing. Of course, despite these selectors, the telescope, the camera, and barrel lens are necessary for planetary photography. So, how do you choose the right planetary camera? The first thing you must to be clear is that there is no best planetary camera, but have the most suitable camera for you. Because everyone has the different equipment and their targets, and shooting conditions is that they are not at the same, and you need to know the difference between the camera and the equipment's collections efforts is different. So it does have a fixed state solution, but you can describe a judgment according to the parameters is if it's a good camera. And can according these sectors to judge if it have a good camera. If it have the below things, you can try to buy it at least. First is it has the low readout noise, and second is it has the high sensitivity. The third is it has the high frame rate like the USB 3.0, and the first is it has the modern tree size target surface, and the packs of the moderate size, and of course it have to have the suitable hardware experience. Of course, easily operations and strong compatibility and the inexpensive price is also very important. The first sectors like the readout noise. As the name implies, is the noise inherent in each image readout, and it means that it cannot be eliminated, and reducing the readout noise can effectively improve the image signal to noise ratio. This means that if you don't want the image to be full of the noise, and it's best to choose a camera with a low readout noise. At present, the lowest read noise is about 1.0 to 2.0, which is an extremely low level in the industry. And the second factors is that the sun sensitivity. The camera sensitivity is a measure of how well a camera can perceive the light, especially in low light conditions, where the advantages of high sensitivity is more obvious. The higher of the sensitivity, the better of the signal to noise ratio of the image, and the faster the camera gathers light. And the sensitivity is different parameters to quantify. In general, the camera, if with the higher QE, will have the higher sensitivity, so you can judge this. And the third is about the frame rate. In the first part of this series, we mentioned that the planetary photography usually uses the short exposure and the monetary fold techniques. On the one hand, the visual darkness and the atmospheric transparency have great interference on the long-term operation, and on the other hand, the plants rectors. So it's very necessary to make a quick shooting, record a video, and then use the operatic frames overlay. And the frame rate is how many shots are taken per second in FPS, if you have the USB 3.0 camera, it will have the higher transfer speed than the USB 2.0 camera. So but the very old version of the our plant camera uses the USB 3.0 parts. For example, the SV 105 the USB of it is the 2.0, but for the 205 or 305 and the 4 and the 5, it's all about the USB 3.0. Actually, it's another cert you need to notice is that the target surface. It's easy for beginners to make mistake that maybe you will think the bigger the camera target series size is the better. For deep space photography, it's true that large targets prove that a large field of view and since objects such as the nebula and the galaxies are much larger and than single planes, and a large target camera reduces the work of staging. But for planetary photography, however, we often need smaller sensors to provide a smaller field of the view. And another very important factor is that the pixel size. It's without fear one of the most important dimension of your camera choice. So is it better to have big or small or small? It's also not absolute, and we need to consider two factors related to this, and you need to know the pixel resolution and power and the optimic opposition focal ratio. And both of these factors have to do with your telescope. For the first factors is popular known as the simple accuracy. It's of the camera and the focal length of the telescope together determine the sampling. Actually, in general, if you get the results between the 1.0 to 2.0, it means that the reasonable sampling. So in the choice before you choose the camera, you should collect latitude make the results close to that range. As far as possible on the best dynamic of code rate. Normally, we usually telescope focal radius and barrel length combination to form the correct rate. It calls the dynamic code rates, and the optimate compensate focal radius is usually the camera's picks the SAD, and you need to multiply 5. And with the above mentioned factors in mind, and I think you at least to know which is more suitable for you when you choose a planetary camera. And about all our products now, let me take some examples for you can see this is the SV105, and you can check the user manual to get more information about its specifications, and his image sensor is color sensors, and his image resolution is about the 2 amplex, it means that it is the 1920 manipulate the 1080, and its USB type is the 2.0, and the plenty size is about 3 millimeter. Its exposure time is about the 50 to 500 per second. Compared with the SV305, it's a little worse, and our SV 305 is more popular in our users, and it also has the user manuals, and he uses different image sensor compared with the SV105, and the sensor model is also different. But the image resolution is the same as the SV105, but his USB type is the 3.0, so it's better for the SV105. And the USB type is also different. This is about the SV105, and this is about the SV305. You can see the difference, and this is the SV305. It's the Pro. I guess you have noticed that we upgrade a new version Planetary camera. It's the SV505, and if you are interested, you can to check his information on our website, and it's post you now, and you can get the discount if you want to buy. Okay, today's live show actually is for the beginners if they want to photograph the planetary, and teach you how to choose the planetary camera and what's the factor you must to be noticed. And I wish it will be helpful for you to add this area knowledge. Whether for the new friends or for the old friends, if you still want to buy some products about the planetary products, and you will get a discount, and I will show the discount information and the code for you on our social media, and you can pay attention to our latest news. Okay. So if there have another questions, okay. If no, and it's all about our today's live stream, okay? And if you have any suggestions about the live stream comments, you can contact us and we will improvement. We will improve. Okay, see you next time. Goodbye.